అది ఇల్లే నేను అన్ని చూసి నాకు చాలా అయింది కదా ఫస్ట్ నాకే పెట్టినవాడు శాంపుల్. Yeah. So what is Swamita? What is the aim of Swamita? See, actually, India is gifted with large number of programs. The problem for aspirants is you have to get the command over that programs. Many programs, weekly one program, bi-monthly one program, and statewide they are having their own programs, and even they are asked in the examination like Kalia. What is Kalia and which state program? What is Kalia and Kalia is the which state's program? Kalia. Of course, it is a word program. Why I am reiterating that means earlier it was asked in the UPSC. Okay. Anybody in the live chat? Okay. So nobody. Yeah. Senior most person, that is Bhagavati, has answered that question. Odisha. Yes, it is correct. And that scheme is like the Raitu Bandhu of Telangana. But this Raitu Bandhu of Telangana is not having any upper ceiling. Even if you are having the 100 acres, you will get the Raitu Bandhu. Even half acre, you will get the Raitu Bandhu. But this Kalia is having some sort of restrictions. Okay? Yeah. So what I mean to say is not only our national programs, even you have to study the programs initiated by the many state governments in India and even union territories also like Delhi and Puducherry. For them, they are having their legislative assemblies. Okay. Now, what is Swamitva? Just you remember, that's all. Swamitva. What is the aim of Swamitva? What is the aim of Swamitva? That is sufficient at this stage. Of course, it is not a mains class. Anybody? Okay. It is just digital survey of the villages, survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in village areas, especially using the drones. See, actually, what is happening? You know, every village will have the barren lands. Okay, barren lands. And in course of time, what happens? These barren lands will be cultivated by some section of society. Or I will say you the live example. Before 1976, if I am not wrong, so before the banning the shifting cultivation. So earlier we had the shifting cultivation or slash and burn cultivation. What is shifting cultivation, slash and burn cultivation? It is clearing the forest and uh, um, it is clearing the forest and plowing the land and practicing the agriculture. So that people, they did not had any sort of ownership rights, no passbook or no title deeds, whatever may be the case. But yes, they are the right persons to pluck the fruits which are grown, which have been grown in that land. But what happened earlier? Yes, they have given the passbooks and title deeds, but in course of time, such kind of lands were deprived. Of course, lands were not deprived. Such kind of persons were, deprived of their ownership titles. Now, ownership titles are very important. Why? One is to minimize the litigation. You know what is meant by litigation? If you are not having any ownership deed, then a powerful person will come and say that this land belongs to me. automatically you cannot prove that you are the owner of that land. And 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 as he's having money and muscle power, he will occupy this land. So it will encourage the land mafia. See, because nowadays the land rates are skyrocketing. Yeah. Again, the second problem is if the farmer is not having any title deeds, no banker, no financier will render him the loan or extend him the loan. And even that person will be deprived of many schemes, farmer friendly schemes initiated by the government of India and also, government of his respective state. Okay. So if you map the villages, lands, then it will be beneficial for both government and also for the farmer. So just few points I will discuss. It is not the main class. Ownership of land and houses plays a big role in the development of the country. When there is a record of property, citizens can gain confidence. Yeah, I am the owner. Then you can sleep without any fear. If you are not having the ownership rights, automatically some person will come and occupy that. Okay. Then Swamitva survey, at least you remember the full form. Survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in village areas. Improvised. You are having the remote sensing and also drones. Even in the surveying also, nowadays we are having the most improvised implements by which survey can be completed at a faster rate, unlike the earlier days. Survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in village areas has been envisioned as a central sector scheme to provide an integrated inhabited Abadi property. Abadi means population. Ownership solution for rural India. The pilot phase of the scheme was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister on 24th April 2020 on the occasion of the National Panchayat Raj Day. Okay? Okay. Now, we will go to the background of the National Panchayat Raj Day and 24th April 2020. Even this year's Panchayat Raj Day also, the government initiated a new scheme. What is the name of that new scheme? Even in the first session, Mr. Amareshwar has dealt with that topic very briefly. Of course, I will deal the same topic as I am a civil engineer. I will deal the topic in my aspect and in my prospect. Amrit Sarovar. Of course, we will discuss that topic also. Yeah. See, now, National Panchayat Raj Day. From which year we are celebrating the National Panchayat Raj Day? Anybody? Because such kind of questions may appear in your prelims, both the state services and also central services. From words not clear. Okay, punishment. Yes. National Panchayat Raj Day. So we are celebrating from 2010. 24th April, for the first time, 24th April 2010 was celebrated as the National Panchayat Raj Day. So questions may appear in this manner. See, whenever you get a question related to Panchayat Raj system in the mains, if you quote such kind of information, you will get more marks than your peers or competitors. Then only you will become group one or higher, or you will crack the higher services. Yes. Now, okay. From 2010, we are celebrating this day as the National Panchayat Raj Day. Then what is the importance of 24th April? What is the importance of this 24th April? What is the importance of this 24th April? See, 24th April is the day on which the new Panchayat Raj system came into force. Actually, the 73rd Amendment, 73rd Amendment came into force from 24th April 1992. Yes. Okay. So actually, Act was made in 1992. Okay. Yes. So for that purpose, it is called as the National Panchayat Raj Day End. Okay. Now, when you come to the 73rd Amendment, you have to remember this. 70th Amendment is nothing but constitutionalizing the Panchayat Raj institution. Of course, the 73rd is Panchayat Raj and 74th is the urban local self-governing bodies, that is municipalities, corporations, etc. There are 8 types of urban local self-governing bodies which we have discussed in our routine classes. Yeah. Now, see, what is the need? What is the need for the 73rd Amendment? Why? Why the Parliament was forced to constitutionalize these institutions? See, whether Panchayat Raj, of course, local self-governing bodies is in the state list or central list or concurrent list. Okay, local self-governing bodies is in the state list. That is very important point. Local self-governing bodies is in the state list. So automatically, what happened? Many states have not showed interest to give sufficient funds and powers to the Panchayat Raj institution. And giving funds and functions to Panchayat Raj institution is the Gandhian philosophy. He said that if a village is self-sufficient, if a village administration is self-sufficient, then automatically India will give and India will become self-sufficient. So it is the Gandhian philosophy. So what happened, as it was in the state list and also as it was dealt by Article 40 of the Directive Principles of State Policy, DPSP, which are in the Part 4. So these DPSPs are non-justiciable, means there is no binding on the state governments to implement the Panchayat Raj system. So automatically, many state governments have not showed interest to give powers and various functions to them. So the real purpose of the grassroots level, the real purpose of the establishment of the grassroots level of institutions was not achieved. So in course of time, the successive governments have recognized that, and even Rajiv Gandhi tried to. Sorry, Honorable. Rajiv Gandhi tried to do that. He failed, and even Mr. Honorable of course, VP Singh, tried to do that. He failed, and finally, so it became reality when P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister of India. So that point you have to remember. Article 40 in the non-justiciable part, that is in the DPSP, and many, as it is in the state list, many states have not showed interest to revitalize the Panchayat Raj institution. So in course of time, it was constitutionalized. So it made 2 provisions, voluntary and compulsory provisions, which we have discussed in the routine classes. Okay, yes, that is very important as far as Panchayat Raj institutions is concerned, and that is also the and also the importance of National Panchayat Raj Day. Yes, the demarcation of rural inhabited land is done using drone surveying technology with the collaborative efforts of the Ministry of Panchayat Raj, Survey of India, National Informatics Center, State Revenue Department. So many people are involved in that. So the main aim of this project is to see that the person will have some sort of ownership rights such that he can get the support of institutions. If you are having the ownership rights, any person will come or any institution will come and lend you the money at a lesser rate of interest, because institutions will lend the money at a lesser rate of interest, but whereas the private players or your friends and relatives or money lenders will lend the money at a higher rate of interest, by which the purpose of farmers will be deprived. Now, broad objectives of this program: enabling efficient rural planning by creation of accurate land records. If you know about the accurate land records, then only you can plan. Suppose if government of India or state government wanted to establish a industrial cluster in a region, then if in any region, if the government land is more, then they can establish it very easily, because if they are if government is not having the land now, then they have to acquire from the private players. It is a cumbersome process, because some persons may not like that, and even you are also having many legal hurdles, like you are having land acquisition, rehabilitation, and resettlement act has put many constraints in acquiring the land by the government, like they should get the consent of the gram panchayat, etc. Okay, so it will benefit the government to acquire the land if any government land is available in that village, or even if you are having the perfect records, then you can call all of them to just negotiate the price for the developmental price purposes, aiding people in preparation of quality gram panchayat development plans. Property card as a tool for sourcing bank loans. Just now I told you, title deed. Means of reduction in property related disputes. I told you the number of litigations will be minimized. See now, take the example of Telangana government. Of course, many state governments are having that kind of program. You are having the Dharani portal. If you insert your survey number, all the owners' name will be displayed on the screen. Then a person who is not the owner cannot sell that land. Earlier it happened. Fake registration. Now, no question of fake registration, because in the Dharani, your name should be there, and your Aadhaar card and your thumb impression. So, by which these litigations will be minimized. Means of determining property tax in Gram Panchayat. Yes. Based on title deeds only, the amount of tax can be determined. So, how much they can raise the fund, how much they need from the center, how much they need from the state can be assessed very easily. Installing nationwide network of stations for mapping and location services. So, this is with regard to the program Samvita, Swamitva. You try to remember this, Swamitva. Survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in village areas. So such kind of programs will be helpful for you people to write the mains exam also. Okay? Yes. Okay. See, new development bank. New development bank. Of course, you are having many development banks. So now when you come to the development bank, what is the purpose of this development bank? Development word itself says that its purpose is development. In India also, you are having many development banks. Name few development banks. Name few development banks. So, from offline side, take the example of SIDB. SIDB, Small Industries Development Bank of India. Its purpose is to give loans to the entrepreneurs. But you have to remember, SIDB will not directly lend money to the entrepreneurs. It is a development bank, but it is a refinancing agency. Very, very important. Refinancing agency. Suppose if a bank commercial bank lends loans to an entrepreneur, then SIDBI will lend the loan to the commercial bank at a subsidized rate. So that benefit will be shared by both the commercial bank and also the borrower. So as they borrow lakhs and crores, even if their interest is reduced by 1%, it matters a lot. Now take the example of India. We will import a huge amount of crude oil. Even if crude oil price falls by $2, it matters a lot for India. Okay? Yes. Now, SIDBI and also earlier we had IDB. Of course, now also we are having the IDB, Industrial Development Bank of India. But actually now even IDB is also serving as a ordinary commercial bank. You can see the branches of IDB. Okay? Yes. Now take the example of NABARD. 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 Okay? Even even na, even this NABARD is a development bank or development. It is called as Development Financial Institution. What is the full form of NABARD? Cheppamma Srija. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Not National Agriculture. Arthaminda? National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Okay. So it is a development finance institution and also refinance institution because they will have some purpose. They will have some purpose. That is, their purpose is development. Their purpose is development. Okay. So what I mean to say is, New Development Bank is also such an institution, and it was established by the BRICS countries. Okay, that is very important. And where is the headquarter of this NDB? Where is the headquarter of this NDB? No idea, it seems. I think many people are hearing this word for the first time, it seems, because all are aspirants. Second, it is in China. It is in China. Okay, Shanghai in China. At least within 30 or 40 seconds, you people should search in Google and actually our online students. Of course, they are not having even courage to do that also. Why to waste the energy? Already they will be busy in some other phone. Okay? Okay. Now, what is the aim of this bank? The aim of this bank is to finance the money to the infrastructure to attain a sustainable development. That point you have to remember. We will complete it within no time, Andy. Okay. The NDB is a multilateral financial institution established by the BRICS countries, namely, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And this group is called as the BRICS. The purpose of NDB is to fund sustainable development, not temporary development. The development should sustain for a long period, like investing or lending, money to the roads, railways, because it will have a lot of life and they will have many externalities. Means other sectors development is linked to the infrastructure. Take the example of Hyderabad, Bangalore, and few other cities. They will attract many investments. Why? They are having good infrastructure. So projects and infrastructure projects in the BRICS countries and other developing countries and emerging markets. This point is very important. They will lend not only for BRICS countries and other developing countries and emerging markets. Okay, India is a emerging country. Likewise, you are having any emerging countries. The NDB is projected as a developmental financial institution that can complement Western-dominated global financial institution. Means you are having IMF, World Bank. They are in the hands of the Western countries. So these countries will help the countries which are not getting support from the Western financial institutes like World Bank and IMF. It was formerly known as the BRICS Development Bank. This year, you try to remember, it was NDB was founded in 2014. That point is very important. Yes, the idea behind the NDB was mooted by India at the fourth BRICS summit New New Delhi in 2012, and the formation treaty was signed in 2014. Okay, we are not interested in that. We are interested only in the NDB key areas of operation, and you have to remember where is its headquarters. Clean energy. NDB key areas of operation. Clean energy. What is the meaning of clean energy? The meaning of clean energy is it will not harm the ecology or ecosystem. Now take the example of fossil fuels like petrol, diesel, coal, etc. They will harm the ecology. They will release the chlorofluorocarbons, which will harm the global climatic conditions. Okay. Now tell me two or three examples of clean energy. So we have discussed the earlier classes like solar energy is a clean energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy. Okay. Yes. Now next is the transport transport infrastructure. Just now I told you road railways are very important even to encourage the tourism also, because now service sector is giving lot of revenues. See, I will tell you an example how service sector is giving lot of revenue. If you take a room in a star hotel, the charge will be 6,000 to 7,000 based on the conditions, means season, unseason, etc. If it is 8,000, say, the service tax on it is the 18%. 18%. So 8,000 into 18%. It will generate huge revenue for the government. Because of this reason only, in the last financial year, the indirect collection, the indirect tax collections were more than the direct tax collections. Earlier, all the time, corporate tax was the big share for the Indian government's revenue, tax revenue. Now last financial year, what happened? The GST is high because of this service, and even coaching institutes will also come under the net of the service tax. Even we have to pay the 18%. Okay? Yes. So it is very important. That is road, railways, etc. And multi-theme means all social, economic, ecological. It is the meaning of multi-theme. Social development, economic development, and even you have to conserve the ecology. Now, next is the urban development, theme of the NDB. Why urban development is needed? See, urban development is needed because urban areas will attract more investment. More investments, more employment opportunities. More employment opportunities, uh, more purchasing capacity of people. More purchasing capacity, then automatically the economy will boom. See, earlier 20 years ago, you cannot see this much of star hotels in India. Now you can see n number of star hotels. Spending 6 or 7,000 rupees by a person has become very normal. Very normal. Not normal. Very normal. If you if they open their wallet, means they will have the n number of cards. Few may be debit, other may be credit. Whatever may be the case, that cards will have the purchasing capacity. Okay? Yes. Now, irrigation, water resource management, and sanitation. Irrigation is must to get more production of food grains and even to combat that drought. Now, for countries like India, our monsoons are uncertain, like many of our students. Uncertain. They may come today, they may not come tomorrow. They may come day after tomorrow, and we don't know when they will come to the next class. uncertain. So because of that uncertainty, Indian agriculture is called as gambling of monsoon. So it will be much helpful. So for constructing the dams, etc., or hydrological structure. Water resources management includes everything, construction of dams, and also to harness the groundwater, to recharge the groundwater. Now, of course, morning sir told about the mission Amrit Sarovar. Amrit Sarovar. Yeah, it is the water resources management. We will discuss that. And sanitation, it is must. If you are having the improper sanitation, then the people will fall ill. If people are not working, then no question of any growth in the economy. Digital infrastructure, everything, telecommunication, okay, internet, everything. Now, environmental efficiency, social infrastructure, COVID-19 emergency assistance. Of course, now many countries are not having this problem, but it seems that China is having the even cases even today also. Now, what is social infrastructure? Social infrastructure means like spent health, education, school buildings, hospitals. It is called as the social infrastructure. So, for all these sectors were so given impetus by the NDB. That point you try to remember. Okay. Now, and even NDB is having good rating. See, as of February 2021, the NDB was assigned an AA plus long term and A1 plus short term issuer credit ratings with a stable outlook by S&P Global Ratings. What is the full form of S&P? What is the full form of S&P? Tarvati, Divya. Okay. What is the full form of S&P? Online students, S&P. Only one answer, that too from very senior. Very senior. I know it is a rating company, Mr. Sam. It is a rating company. I am asking you about the full form, S&P. Anybody from offline? Of course, many of them are feeling sleepy because of your buffet breakfast in your hostels. Nobody. So online students have followed the chart. Most of them are correct. Standard and Poor. It is a global rating agency. Standard and Poor. You are having many global ratings agencies like S&P, Fitch, FITCH, Moody's, MOODYS, Moody's. They are global rating agencies. Even India is also having many rating agencies like CARE, ICRA, ONICRA. Okay, so based on these ratings only, the banks will be getting attraction from the investors. Why banks? Because these banks will raise the money from the public by selling their bonds. Okay, so then only they can lend the money to the needy persons. So when these banks are having good rating, they can raise the money at a lesser rate of interest. If the rating is not good, then people will not show interest. So they will be forced to give more and more interest. Like if any article is not good, then the seller will give you the discount price. The same way. So you have to remember the full form of S&P and what is the importance of rating agency. I mean, rating agencies give the sustainability of that industry or organization. Okay, and good management and good balance sheet and their capacity to digest the economic jerks like pandemics, etc. So based on many factors, they will give the ratings. And no people, and of course, most of you don't know the full form of S&P, and you are aspirants. Okay. The president of the NDB is elected from among the member countries. There are 4 vice presidents who are from the remaining members. The first president of the NDB was India's KV Kamath. That is very important. KV Kamath. Now, achievements. Of course, as of November 2020, it had approved projects worth $21 billion, okay, in the clean energy and infrastructure, etc. 27% of the bank's project approvals are denominated in the, this point is very important, not only in this perspective, but in the general economic perspective. This point is very important. 27% of the bank's project approvals are denominated in the local currencies. What is the meaning of that? Suppose if India gets the loan from the NDB, the loan will be in the Indian rupee. The repayment will be in the Indian rupee. What is the benefit of this? So the country will be free from the currency change volatilities like dollar rupee conversion. It is volatile. On one fine day it will be 76 rupees. On other day it will be 77. On other day it will be 75. So to have the stability, okay, you will get the loan in your local denomination, that is local currency, like India is the rupee. And even earlier, government of India permitted our Indian industries or Indian entrepreneurs to raise the money from foreign countries in the local denomination, that is rupee denomination. Rupee denomination. What was that bonds were called? Our Indian industries were allowed to raise money from the foreign countries, but in the rupee denomination. That is, we will sell the bond 10,000 rupees. So, no question of any problem with regard to the currency fluctuation, because currency market is volatile. You know, if you go to any bank, of course, you people don't know bank, you will not go to bank. Even many people don't know what is the difference between the demand draft and the manager check. There is no doubt in it. Nobody will know in this class. If you go to any bank, you can see a board. I'm displaying the currencies of various countries and their value with regard to Indian currency. You can see $1 76 to 77 rupees, pound nearly 100 rupees, sterling or some other currency, yen, yuan. Chinese currency is yen, yuan is Japanese currency. Yen is Japan, huh? Yen is Japan, yuan is China. Sorry, yen is Japan, yuan is China. Okay? Yes. Okay, tell me the answer. Earlier, we raised money from the foreign countries in the Indian currency, that is Indian denomination. Okay. So FDI is foreign direct investment. I am talking about the bond market. Yeah, no issue. They were called as masala bonds. Very easy to remember. Why? Why is it? Because Indians, our food is spicy, and Europeans came to India only to have the trade of spices. Okay, and even they were also called as Maharaja bonds and masala bonds. Okay, yes, no issue. So to keep away from the price fluctuations between the local currency and the foreign currency, this is very important point. We will raise the money in our local currency. Okay, yes. Now, 27% of the bank's project approvals are denominated in the local currencies of the respective borrowing members instead of the US dollar. This reflects the bank's desire to address currency volatility risk and its detrimental impact on the creditworthiness of project cash inflows. See, if currency fluctuates, I will tell you now what is happening. Indian rupee is depreciating. Indian rupee is depreciating. What is the meaning of Indian rupee depreciating? The meaning of this, you have you are forced to pay more rupees to purchase $1. That concept is called as Indian rupee is weakening or Indian rupee is depreciating. Now it is falling like anything, 76, 77, and even I don't know what happens in future because of high price of crude oil and also uncertain economic markets, etc. If foreign investments go back, automatically there will be a huge demand for dollars. Automatically, rupee will become big. That is what happening today. Suppose if rupee depreciates, if we have taken $1 loan, when our rupee was 75 rupees against $1, now if it becomes say 80 for understanding purpose, then what happens? You have to pay 5 rupees more as a principal. Leave the interest. Leave the interest. So to keep away from this problem, you will take the loan in the Indian currency, that is local currency. And what is the meaning of rupee appreciating? Rupee strengthening or rupee appreciating? It is becoming strong against the dollar. Means now if it is 77 rupees for $1, if it becomes 75 rupees against $1, then it is called as the appreciation. These points you have to remember as far as competitive exams are concerned. Rupee appreciation and also rupee depreciation. Okay. Yes. Now, rating agencies have given positive ratings to the NDB. This has allowed the bank to raise funds at competitive rates and pass those savings on to its members, borrowers, who generally show interest of okay. Now you see, whenever a bank is raising fixed deposits at a lesser rate of interest, automatically they will lend the money to the customers at a lesser rate of interest. See, at the time of COVID-19, you know what happened? Not only in India, in various countries. Take the example of America. American government gave loans to the people at the time of COVID-19 such that they will spend and generate the economy. The same thing happened in India. One thing, no demand for good loans because of bad economic condition because of pandemic. Okay, and even as there was less business, many business personalities just they have deposited the money in the bank. Just they have deployed the money in the bank. Banks were full of FDs on one side. Other side, they were not having the demand for the loans because of the bad economy. Many people lost their employment opportunities. Why they took the loan to purchase house or car? So the demand for loans has increased, whereas the banks were getting excellent deposits. So automatically, because of excess supply, they got loans at a they got deposits at a lesser rate of interest. You know what happened? They have transferred the same to the people who want the loan. At less than 7%, we were getting the housing loans. Of course, just 15 days ago, RBI Governor Shaktikant Das has increased the rate by 40 basis point, and even in the near future also, definitely they will raise the interest rate. The same thing is happening even in the America also, that the Fed is constantly increasing the interest rate, and also they are also what they are doing, so they are taking back the liquidity which they have infused in the markets at the time of COVID-19 in the form of economic stimulus. So now the Fed is taking back the liquidity from the market, taking back the liquidity from the markets. What they will do? They will come and sell the bonds. They will sell the bond in the market, take back the money. Earlier, what they did, they have purchased the bonds. They took the bonds and pumped the liquidity. Now, what they will do? They will sell the bond. They will sell the bond and take back the money. Okay. So these points are also very important. Yes. Now, so New Development Bank, headquartered Shanghai, China, established in 2014. Each member has one vote. Okay. Votes are based on the member shareholding. Member shareholding means what is your contribution? What is the India's contribution in establishing that NDB? That is called as the shareholding. You know, that is the meaning of the shareholding. Yes. Membership is open to all UN members, not only BRICS. That is very important. Okay. They will give this kind of sentences in the statement, and you people will be in a bad position to answer that. Now, a few points I will discuss. Okay. Competition Commission of India. See, you people know what is meant by competition, especially in our school days. When I was going to school, we had a lot of competition for top 3 ranks. Of course, I never tried to get first or second. Third, if unluckily if I miss the third, I used to get the fourth. Because my father used to say, I don't know why he used to say in that manner. Generally, first, second rankers will not have lot of prosperity. They may have prosperity, but the lower grade people will have more prosperity. Of course, it may be true or it may be false. It depends on person to person. Whatever may be the case, in my case, it is true. In my case, it was true. Okay. Of course, I don't want to reveal what the first and second rankers are doing. Okay. 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 Now, so now when you come to the Competition Commission of India, what is its aim? Its aim is to see that there is healthy competition in the market. What is the meaning of healthy competition? What is the meaning of unhealthy competition? Now, take the example of our institution. We are having both offline and also online, and we are having our own price tag, and never compete with the other because it is it leads to the unhealthy competition, and one fine day you will not find your institution here if I compete with them in price. So what happened in course of time, if every institute fall down, then the system will collapse. Many people's livelihood is related to this coaching. Then the system will collapse. So to see that the system will not collapse, you are having the Competition Commission of India. They are having certain set of standards. Now, earlier we had MRTP Act. What is the full form of MRTP? What is the full form of MRTP? Full form of MRTP. MRTP Act 1969, if I am not wrong. Yeah, Bhagwati. Monopoly Restrictive Trade Practices Act 1969. That was put to an end. In that place, you are having the Competition Commission of India. Okay. Now, MRTP, Monopoly Restrictive Trade Practices. You know what is meant by monopoly? A single person involving in the manufacturing and selling of the commodity. Then if only single person is involved in that, it is up to him to decide the price. He will not care about the consumer benefit. So he will go on increasing the prices. Okay. So what actually the MRTP Act used to do? Suppose there are two companies for understanding. X and Y are both companies, and the two companies in India are manufacturing a drug called as D. It is not intoxicating, and it's a, for our understanding purpose, a life-saving drug. What happened? These two companies will have a negotiations to merge. If these two companies merges, then the price of this drug will increase like anything, because earlier these both had competition in selling the drug. So the government will not allow such kind of mergers and amalgamations. The government will not allow such kind of mergers and amalgamations which are against the welfare of the consumer. Now take the example. Now you have the very few telecommunication players. Airtel, Reliance, Idea, Vodafone. That's all for your understanding purpose. In course of time, what happens if all merges into a single entity? Then definitely I am sure that I will be unable to run the online classes, because the data will become more than your online coaching fees. Then who will join in that? Of course, that may happen. Who knows? Anything may happen. Tomatoes will go to 150 on one day, next day 1 rupee. Anything may happen. Long back in period, the price of aluminum was far more than the gold. Now gold price is far more than the aluminum, and only God knows when gold price will fall. If everybody lives using gold as ornament, they go for platinum or any other items like diamond, then nobody will ask the gold, and they will say that, oh, she is outdated, still she is wearing gold chain. Okay. Yes, my dears. So you have to understand what is the aim of this Competition Commission of India. Its aim is to stop the. It is a regulator to. um, it is a regulator with regard to amalgamations and mergers, and even it will also see whether a company is creating or initiating any unhealthy competition. See, 1 second, 1 paisa. Actually, 1 second, 1 paisa concept has ruined the telecommunication market. Tata Docomo initiated this. Now, what happened? Where is Tata Docomo? No Docomo. Docomo has said Tata to the cell phone service providers. Okay? Yes. So, even it will also say that the competition will be unhealthy. So, that is the importance of the Competition Commission of India. It is a regulatory agencies in India to see that the mergers and amalgamations will lead to a monopoly, which is harmful to the market. Suppose at the time of COVID-19, Remdesivir, few companies were manufacturing that. Of course, only God knows the actual importance of the drug or it working. Uh, against the COVID-19 virus. But what happened? For 15 days or 20 days, there was huge shortage of the Remdesivir, and only few players were manufacturing. And even it is said that those they sold for far beyond excess price, even 1 lakh also. I don't know, because the situation was in that condition, and government could not help it. Okay. Yes. No issue. So I told about the MRTP Act 1969. Now in the place of MRTP Act, you are having the Competition Commission. Okay. The Competition Commission of India was established as a statutory body by the Union Government in 2003, but it was duly constituted in 2009. What is the meaning of statutory body? Any body constituted by the Parliament Act is called as the statutory body. Okay. Now, the CCA acts as the competition regulator in India under the provisions of the Competition Act 2002. Composition: CCA consists of a chairperson and 6 members appointed by the central government. That is sufficient. Now, of course, has also mentioned this concept. Prime Minister, visiting Lumbini. Okay, he went to Lumbini from Kushinagara. He started from Kushinagara because Lumbini is the birthplace, and Kushinagara is the place where Gautam Buddha died. And the death of Buddha is called as the death of Buddha, Parinirvana. It is called as Mahaparinirvana. Okay, and the symbol is stupa. Okay. Now, so Lumbini is the holy place where, according to Buddhist tradition, Queen Mahamaya Devi gave birth to Siddhartha Gautama. See, Emperor Ashoka is believed to have visited Lumbini. Now we will go into the actual point which we want to discuss. See, when you come to the Ashoka, he is not the founder of Buddhism, or earlier he was not the follower of Buddhism also. You know, Kalinga, after Kalinga war, what happened? Kalinga war occurred in 261 BC. By seeing the horrors of Kalinga war, Ashoka put an end to the physical conflict. No question of physical conflict, only spiritual conflict, or winning over the kings of neighboring kingdom by virtue and pity, not by physical conflict. Okay, but see, as soon as Kalinga war is completed, he will not embrace the Buddhism immediately. He will start his own moral code. He will start his own moral code of conduct. Okay, that is Ashoka's Dhamma. To propagate Ashoka's Dhamma, he will give the 14 major doctrines. And later, after a long period, he will embrace the Buddhism. Ashoka will embrace the Buddhism under the influence of which Buddhist monk? That is also a very important question. Ashoka will embrace Buddhism under the influence of which Buddhist monk? So Bhagavati, Nivrutta, I don't know. It is Upagupta. It is Upagupta. But one section of historians say that Ashoka embraced Buddhism under the influence of a small boy called as Nigrotha, given in some books, who is son of Ashoka's brother Susima. But Upagupta is most accepted. That point you have to remember. Upagupta. Okay. Now, what is the importance of Ashoka as far as Buddhism is concerned? See, you are having many patterns of Buddhism before Ashoka also, like Ajatashatru, Kalashoka. And this Ashoka will pattern the third Buddhist council. What Ashoka will do? Ashoka will try to propagate Buddhism beyond India. See, in that period, Nepal, India, Myanmar, Burma, Pakistan, almost are like a single country. Even today also, Indian currency is accepted in Nepal, if I am not wrong. So, Ashoka propagated Buddhism beyond India. He will send his daughter Sangamitra and son Mahindra to Sri Lanka and other countries to propagate Buddhism. That point you have to remember. See, you know, in which rock edicts of Ashoka contemporary kings were mentioned. So, contemporary kings, even in that countries also, Ashoka tried to propagate the Buddhism. So, rock edict 2 and 13, there is mention of contemporary kings. So, in that kingdoms also, Ashoka tried to propagate Buddhism. Yes, that is over. Then, when you come to the Lumbini, Ashoka visited the center Lumbini. Why? Because to honor the place where Gautam Buddha was born. Now, many people will go to Shirdi on pilgrimage or on trip. Why? It is a place where Sai Baba had his birth and also his life there. It is a holy place. That's all. Shirdi is called as a holy place. Yeah. So Ashoka also visited Lumbini, honoring the birthplace of Buddha. In which year after his coronation Ashoka visited Lumbini? Okay. So what he did, as soon as he visited Lumbini, and he has exempted that village or nearby villages from the purview of taxation. From the purview of taxation. That point you have to remember. Even you are also having the other inscription, Nigliva or Nigali Sagar, which deals about the taxation of the Ashoka. Nigliva or Nigali Sagar. Okay. Yes, yes. These points you try to remember. Emperor Ashoka is believed to have visited Lumbini. To commemorate his visit to Lumbini, a sandstone pillar, minor pillar, has been erected. The pillar has a Pali inscription in Brahmi script. Language is Pali, script is Brahmi. Language is different, script is different. Take the example of Bengali. Bengali is the language, but still they will use the Devanagari script. అలా ఉంటుంది ఓకే ఠీకే నో ఇష్యూ Lumbini is home to excavated remains of Buddhist viharas. You know what is meant by Buddhist viharas? Viharas are nothing but a cave dwellings where Buddhist monks used to reside in the rainy season. Viharas. What is Chaitya in Buddhist tradition? It is a multi-pillared hall. Multi-pillared hall in Buddhist tradition is called as a Chaitya, where the Buddhist monks used to have their religious discourses. And stupa. Stupa is a Buddhist architecture which is constructed on the mortal remains of Buddhist monk Gautam Buddha, sorry, or Gautam Buddha, or any articles used by them, or even on the Buddhist literature. So whenever you will encounter about the Buddhist architecture, you write about the viharas, chaityas, and stupas. And it is said that Ashoka has constructed nearly 84,000 stupas. Now, Lumbini is home to excavated remains of Buddhist viharas of 3rd century BC to 5th century AD, and the remains of Buddhist stupas from the 3rd century BC to 5th century AD. Lumbini is a major Buddhist pilgrimage center where the archaeological remains associated with the birth of the Lord Buddha form a central feature. Actually, they were excavated later. How you came to know about the Lumbini and these pillars? With the writings of two popular persons, Fahian and Huan Sang. Why? Because these two Chinese travelers came to India only to translate all the Buddhist literature into their Chinese language. Fahian, Yuan Sang. Fahian came to India in whose period? Mirandi. Agandi. Please wait. Fahian came to India in whose period? Online students. Fahian came to India in under whose period? Chandragupta too. And he wrote the book Ko Ko Ko. And Yuan Sang came to India in the period of Harsha. He wrote Siyuki. Yuan Sang wrote Siyuki. He came to India in the period of Harsha, whereas Chandragupta too, in the Chandragupta II's period, Fahian came to India from China. The purpose of these two two monks is to translate all Buddhist books into their mother language. Okay? Yes. Lumbini was included in the list of World Heritage Areas by UNESCO in 1997. Please try to remember this because this year in the competitive examination you may get all these statements and they will ask which of the following statements are correct. The Prime Minister will be okay. It is over and no issue. Now the next one is Lumbini pillar inscription. Okay. So actually there is no capital. Capital had got damaged. So Ashokan pillar will have the prop, shaft, abacus, and also capital. Okay. So the part which is below the ground is called as the prop. This is called as the shaft. And above you had a abacus or a extended portion of this column or pillar in breadth wise. And above that you are having a figure of animal that is called as the capital. Capital, abacus, shaft, prop. And it is a monolithic. What is the meaning of monolithic? It is from a single rock. It is from a single rock. That point also very important. Okay. Yes. So now these have been damaged, and in course of time somebody tried to erect that. Yes. Some king thought that yeah, it is very nice, we shall erect. Like Ferozshah Tughlaq carried the two Ashokan pillars from Meerut and Sopra to Delhi. Ferozshah Kotla, they were erected in the Ferozshah Kotla Maidan. Okay. Now, polished sandstone height place Lumbini, Nepal. You remember the Lumbini pillar inscription also called the Paderia inscription because it is the source is the Wikipedia. Paderia inscription is an inscription in the ancient Brahmi script discovered in December 1896 on a pillar of Ashoka in Lumbini, Nepal by former Commander-in-Chief of the Nepalese Army General Khadga Shamshed Jang Bahadur Rana. Another famous inscription discovered is Nigali Sagar or Nigliva. Just now I told you it is in Nepal. It commented about the Ashokan taxation system, and even he said that these people should have the less taxation burden because they have born in the holy place of the Gautam Buddha. Now, even it is also Remandai pillar inscription, which talks about taxation in Mauryan era, has been found at which is the following places: Lumbini in Nepal. Lumbini pillar act in Nepal is also known as the very important point. Remandai pillar inscription. The Lumbini pillar act recorded that sometime after the 20th year of his reign, Ashoka traveled to the Buddha's birthplace and personally made offerings. He then had a stone pillar set up and reduced the taxes of the people in that area because they have been born in a sacred place. Okay. So Lumbini pillar is called as the Remandai. By the side of Remandai, even you are also having the Nigliva or Niglisagar inscription. Now, a very short point, within 5 minutes it will be over, maybe even 2 minutes also. Next generation water action global multi-hub challenge. Only one point. What is the aim of this scheme? Next generation water action global multi-hub challenge. So it is with regard to startups and innovative ideas. Don't think that it is water. Startups and innovative ideas. In India, the next generation water action global multi-hub challenge was held at the Niti Aayog premises. Next generation water action challenge is intended to identify innovative and next generation solutions to solve proposed challenges with corporate and public partners. Yes. So now we are having a lot of challenges. The next challenge is global warming. So what we are doing, we are replacing all the vehicles by the electric vehicles. You need more technology for that. Now many people are saying that frequently they are subject to fire accident. It is a challenge. Okay. Yes, that point is sufficient as far as that challenge is concerned. Now, NABH certificate, the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers. You remember this. Now, recently what happened? NABH has given certification for many Ayurvedic hospitals. So, by which what happens? Our traditional system will get impetus or push. In the last class, I told you, World Health Organization has started a unit in India to encourage the traditional medicine. It was established at Jamnagar in Gujarat. So NABH, by this action of NABH, our traditional medicine will get the push. Why? Many people will establish the hospitals which will treat the people in the traditional form of medicine. The National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers certificates have been distributed among 5 Ayurveda hospitals by the Ministry of Ayush. What is the full form of Ayush? Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy. About the NAB certificate, NABH is a constant board of the Quality Control of India established to operate accreditation programs for healthcare organizations. This certificate ensures the maintenance of compliance and quality of Ayurveda hospitals. This is a welcoming move to promote trust among people regarding Ayurvedic treatments and medicines as India aspires to lead the world with Ayush as an alternative discipline of medicine. Of course, definitely, because on the instigation of India only, you are having the international yoga. Okay? Yes. Now, when you come to the Association of Asian Election Authorities, what is the aim of this association? To have a free and fair elections and also transparent elections. If you want to do good good democracy, you should have good pattern of elections. Nowadays, what is happening? Money and muscle power is dominating the election. India was elected as chair of the Association of Asian Election Authorities for 2022-24. You will be the chairperson. India was unanimously elected as the new chair of the AEA for 2022-24 at the meeting of the Executive Board and General Assembly held in Manila, Philippines. Manila was the previous chair of AEA. Okay. The Association of Asian Election Authorities was established in 1998. Try to remember that. Who knows what type of questions comes in UPSC? The AIA held its first meeting of the Executive Board in March 1919 in Kathmandu, Nepal. Mission, just now I told you, free and fair elections, transparent elections, purely democratic process election. That is very important. Objectives of AAEA to promote and institutionalize open and transparent elections with independent and impartial election authorities. Now, elections in India are supervised by CEC. Last class, even sir told who is the CEC. Rajiv Kumar. So now that the election commission is a constitutional body. It should act in a impartial manner. But sometimes what happened? They will bow to the pressure of the ruling government. You can see that in many cases. Professionalization of Asian election authorities, citizen participation in their role and civic process, information sharing and development of resource, all information, pattern of elections, EVM, ballot box, etc. Members, currently there are 20 Asian election management bodies as members, which include India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all these countries, and of course India is a member. And yes, AIA is also an associate member of the 118 member Association of World Election Bodies. Leave it. Now, see, there was an agreement between the petroleum refining companies, especially Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, IOCL, BPCL. They had agreement with the bankers to establish a ethanol blending plant. So here the subject matter is, what is ethanol? Ethanol is a biodiesel which is extracted from various types of oil seeds, including the maize. Of course, maize is not an oil seed. Methanol is a byproduct of maize crushing and also sugarcane. We are having many methanol yielding plants. Okay, so this is mixed with the diesel and it is run like the ordinary diesel. So if you add 20%, if you blend 20% to our diesel consumption of India, you can save lot of crores of rupees. Why? We are importing the crude oil from the foreign countries. That point you have to remember. Ethanol policy of India. That is very important, not this agreement. Ethanol blending in India is very important. In 2021-22, India achieved 9.90 ethanol blending, consuming 186 crore liters of ethanol, saving over 9,000 crores of foreign exchange. If you will not blend, then this amount you have to import from the foreign countries. Automatically, it is a huge burden on the exchequer. So we have to indigenous resources, that is ethanol. Now, the government has advanced the target of achieving 20% blended ethanol by 2025, which is commonly known as the E20 target. So try to remember, E20 target is ethanol. Okay, next. Even earlier class we have studied about the 41K policy of Indian government. 41K policy of Indian Railways. It is electrification of rails. Instead of diesel locomotives, we will use the electric locomotives, by which we will save a lot of money, and also electricity is eco-friendly compared to the fossil fuels. Now, of course, Sir dealt with this topic, Mission Amrit Sarovar. Okay, see, actually, the Prime Minister launched a new Mission Amrit Sarovar on 24th April 2022 on the eve of Panchayat Raj Day. Now, when you come to the Mission Amrit Sarovar, the government of India or the state government, they wanted to develop 75 tanks or 75 hydroelectric structures in each district of the country, constructing new and also rejuvenating the old. Now take the example of Telangana's Mission Kakatiya. So actually what is happening, suppose if it is a lake, in course of time the lake will be filled with the silt. After some years the lake becomes useless because instead of water you are having the silt. What you will do, the first program is removal of the silt. And where the silt is thrown, on the agricultural land, because it is highly fertile and nutritious. That point you have to remember. They will take this mud and put in their agricultural fields. Second benefit. Third benefit, what happens? If water is stored, you can use it for the irrigation in coming days. Fourth benefit, if water is stored, it will also recharge the groundwater. And again, these are having a lot of economic importance, like rearing the fishes in that lake or tank. And again, this mission also involves the maintenance of catchment area of this tank or lake. If any obstruction is caused to the streams entering into this lake, see, now take the example of Jiva 111 of the Telangana government. The adjoining area of Usman Sagar and Himayat Sagar, they are not permitting the residential complexes. Why? They will obstruct the smooth flow of water into these lakes. So automatically on one fine day, the lakes will get dried up. So even the program also involves in clearing the obstructions of the streams of water entering into that lake. So if you encourage this program, automatically our agricultural production will also increase, and even our groundwater will also get recharged, and even the lakes are having lot of economic importance, like for fisheries, etc. Okay, even for drinking purposes also, irrigation, etc. Okay. The mission is aimed at developing and rejuvenating 75 water bodies in each district of the country as a part of the celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of celebration of Indian independence. So how many ministries? See, now you are having the MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So that program, that people are linked with this Mission Amrit Sarovar. No extra cost. Already existing labor can be engaged. The mission, this mission has been launched with a whole government approach in which 6 ministries, namely Department of Rural Development, Land Resource, Water and Sanitation, Water Resources, Panchayat Raj, Environment and Climate Change. Okay. Even in these non-government organizations, NGOs should also participate. And even community participation is also very important. The people should have the will to clear the tank, clean the tank. Okay? Yes. That's all for this day. Meet for this class next week. Thank you. God bless you. Okay. Meet for this class next week.